Listen carefully to this. Every time you open your wallet believing you're gaining admiration, all you're really doing is buying contempt. This isn't poetry. It isn't exaggeration. It's the brutal mechanics of human nature that you've been ignoring your entire life. And if it makes you uncomfortable, perfect, because that means you're still in time to wake up. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many times have you paid the full bill expecting gratitude? How many times have you lent money thinking you were strengthening a friendship? And what did you get? Exactly. Silence, distance, or worse, resentment disguised as courtesy. Generosity with money doesn't make you noble, it makes you vulnerable. And the world does not respect the vulnerable, it devours them. Machiavelli understood this 500 years ago. Generosity ruins you twice. First, it empties your resources. Second, it destroys your reputation. Because when you give frequently, you create expectation. And when that expectation isn't met, they don't remember you for what you gave. They condemn you for what you stopped giving. That's the trap. Human beings don't value what they receive. They value what they stop receiving. Your mistake was believing otherwise. Think about this. Do you remember the last time someone genuinely thanked you for a financial favor? Do you remember how long that gratitude lasted? 3 days, maybe a week, then it vanished as if it had never existed. Now turn it around. How many times has someone reminded you of what you didn't do for them? There's the difference. Human memory is selective. It retains absences, not presences. You give 10 times, refuse once, and the only thing that remains engraved is the refusal. Financial generosity does not build loyalty, it builds dependence, and dependence generates hatred. No one wants to feel inferior, no one wants to owe favors. So what does a human being do when they receive constantly? They transform gratitude into resentment. You become a living reminder of their own incapacity, their weakness, their inferior position. And when that happens, the relationship is dead. It doesn't matter how much you gave, you'll be blamed for their discomfort. Here is the truth no one tells you. Giving money without strategy is an act of cowardice disguised as kindness. You do it because you don't know how to say no, because you fear conflict, because you'd rather buy temporary peace than face the discomfort of setting boundaries. But that peace is an illusion. It lasts only until the other person asks you for more. And they will ask for more, they always do, because whoever receives without effort loses respect for whoever gives without conditions. Seneca warned, "He who receives a benefit with gratitude pays the first installment of his debt." But how many actually pay? Most forget. Worse still, most rewrite the story. They turn your generosity into obligation, your help into manipulation, your gesture into calculation. Because accepting they were helped means accepting they were weak, and the human ego would rather lie to itself than admit vulnerability. So what does Machiavelli do? He gives you the cold, calculated, brutal answer. If you must be generous, do it quickly, massively, once. Make the impact so strong they can't forget it or distort it. But never, ever turn generosity into routine, because routine kills value. The exceptional impresses, the habitual is ignored. Give once with force, mark territory. Give constantly, and you become a disposable resource. Do you know the biggest mistake of chronic givers? They believe they're investing in relationships. A lie. They're subsidizing other people's mediocrity. Because when someone knows they can turn to you every time they need money, they stop trying. Why work harder if you solve their problems? Why save if you pay for their excesses? You're infantilizing them. You're destroying them. And meanwhile, you're running out of resources and respect. The psychology behind this is devastating. Human beings value what costs them something. What comes easily is discarded quickly. When you give money without the other person earning it, you eliminate perceived value. The amount doesn't matter. The effort does. If they didn't sweat for it, they don't appreciate it. That's simple. That's devastating. Your generosity is corrupting them, and you are complicit in that corruption. Think about the great fortunes of the world. Do you think they got there by giving money away? Observe how the truly powerful act. They don't give without receiving. Every transaction has a purpose. Every gesture has an expected return. It's not cruelty, it's survival. Because in the game of power, the one who gives without strategy ends up being trampled by those they helped. History is full of forgotten benefactors and crowned opportunists. Machiavelli doesn't ask you to be cruel. He asks you to be intelligent. The difference is enormous. Being cruel is denying for pleasure. Being intelligent is denying for survival. When you reject a request for money, you're not being bad. You're preserving your ability to help in the future. Because if you empty yourself today to look good, tomorrow you'll have nothing to offer when it truly matters. Here's the question that hurts. How many of your current relationships would survive if you stopped being financially generous? How many of those you call friends would stay by your side if you closed your wallet? Exactly. Fewer than you imagine. And that tells you everything you need to know about the quality of those bonds. They weren't relationships, they were transactions disguised as affection. True friendship is not measured in loans. It's measured in loyalty when there's nothing to gain. Whoever looks for you only when they need money is not your friend. They're your parasite. And parasites don't thank you. They just suck until there's nothing left. Then they leave, find another host, and you're left wondering what you did wrong. What you did wrong was confusing generosity with buying affection. Aristotle explained it brilliantly. Benefactors love those they have benefited more than the beneficiaries love their benefactors. Do you grasp the irony? You care more about them than they care about you. You give because you care. They receive because it suits them. The asymmetry is brutal, and you're on the losing side. But here's the psychological twist you didn't expect. When you stop giving, some disappear, yes, but the ones who stay are pure gold. Because those who remain when there's no financial benefit are the only ones who were worth it from the beginning. The rest was ballast, dead weight that made you believe you had a support network, when in reality, you had an extraction network. Constant financial generosity turns you into a target, not an ally. Others start calculating how much they can get from you before you notice. And believe me, they notice before you do. Because while you operate from the naivety of believing you're building bridges, they operate from the shrewdness of knowing you're building their comfort. You're not the hero of this story. You're the useful fool. Machiavelli says something that chills the blood but saves lives. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Translated into money, it's better to be respected for your limits than exploited for your generosity. Because respect lasts, purchased sympathy evaporates. When you say no and hold your ground, you establish a standard. You're saying, my money has value, my time has value, I have value. And the world responds to that. Do you know what happens when you stop being everyone's bank? They start looking for you for other reasons. They start valuing your advice, your company, your perspective, because they're finally interacting with you, not with your wallet. That's the relationship you wanted from the beginning, but you were too busy buying it instead of building it genuinely. The paradox is beautiful and cruel. The less you give, the more they value you. The more you give, the more they despise you. It's not fair. It's not moral according to the fairy tales you were told, but it's real. And reality is where the game is played, not in ideals. Idealists end up broke and alone. Realists end up respected and surrounded by genuine people. Epictetus summed it up brutally. It is not things themselves that disturb us, but the opinions we have about them. Applied to money, it's not the act of giving that destroys you, it's your belief that giving makes you valuable. You are already valuable without giving anything. But until you believe that, you'll keep using money as an emotional crutch. Every time you open your wallet out of social obligation, you're admitting that your intrinsic value isn't enough. You're saying, I need to pay for tolerance. And the world, which is brutally honest in its reactions, confirms that belief by treating you exactly that way, as someone who must pay for company. It's a vicious circle that only you can break. Here comes the part that really hurts. Your loved ones, your family, your close friends also play this game. Not consciously, perhaps, but they play it. When they know you always say yes, the yes loses value. It becomes expected, not appreciated. And when you finally say no, they don't understand why you changed the rules of the game. But you didn't change the rules. You stopped playing a game that was always designed for you to lose. Strategic generosity, on the other hand, is a weapon. You give when no one expects it. You deny when everyone expects it. You maintain uncertainty, and uncertainty generates respect. Because if they don't know when you'll say yes, they can't take you for granted. You become unpredictable, and the unpredictable demands attention. You're no longer the ATM, you're the chess player thinking 3 moves ahead. Machiavelli knew that real power lies in discretion, not abundance. It doesn't matter how much you have. It matters how much you show. It doesn't matter how much you can give. It matters when you decide to do it. Discretion protects. Displayed abundance attracts piranhas. And piranhas don't distinguish between generous and naive. They just see blood in the water. Plato warned that ignorance is the root of all evils. Your ignorance of human nature is what's costing you money and dignity. You believe people function on gratitude, but they function on incentives. You believe giving creates bonds, but giving without limits creates expectations you can't sustain. And when you fail to sustain them, the bond breaks anyway. Only now you're poorer and more disappointed. The solution is not to become a miser. The solution is to become a strategist. Evaluate every situation. Ask yourself, does this gesture build something or just buy time? Does this person value my help or expect it as tribute? Does my generosity here plant a seed or feed a bottomless pit? If you can't answer clearly, the default answer must be no. Saying no is a muscle that atrophies from lack of use. The first no's hurt. They feel like betrayal of your principles. But each subsequent no becomes easier, more natural, until one day you realize that saying no doesn't make you less generous. It makes you more respected. And respect is worth more than any amount of forced gratitude. Nietzsche proposed, "That which does not kill me makes me stronger." Translated, every time you say no and survive the social discomfort that follows, you become stronger, more self-possessed, less a slave to others' expectations. And that strength is noticeable. People sense when someone cannot be manipulated with guilt, and that perception changes the entire dynamic. Here is the final secret that separates those who live from those who merely survive. Money is power, and power is protected, not given away. When you give away power, you empower others at your expense. And some of those others will eventually use that power against you, not out of malice, but out of nature. Because human beings optimize their benefit, and if they can take advantage, They will. Misunderstood generosity is self-sabotage disguised as virtue. It feels good momentarily, but in the long term, you're building your own prison. A prison made of expectations you can't meet, relationships you can't sustain, and a financial void you can't fill because you're too busy filling everyone else's. Machiavelli didn't write for saints, he wrote for survivors. And in a world where most people smile while emptying your pockets, surviving requires calculated coldness. Not hatred, not cruelty, but clarity. Seeing things as they are, not as you wish they were. And as they are is brutal. Constant financial generosity destroys you while enriching those who deserve it least. So what do you do now? You start by auditing your relationships. Identify who is there for you and who is there for your wallet. It will be painful. You'll discover things you'd rather not know. But that discomfort is the price of truth. And truth, even when it hurts, is the only thing that frees you. Then you establish firm, non-negotiable limits. Your money is yours, your time is yours, your energy is yours. No one is entitled to them just for existing in your life. Access is earned, not given, and those unwilling to earn it don't deserve it. Finally, remember this every time you feel tempted to open your wallet to look good. Respect cannot be bought. It is imposed. Loyalty cannot be bought. It is built. And neither can exist when they're contaminated by one-sided financial transactions. Clean your life of parasites. Surround yourself with equals, and you'll discover that true wealth isn't in what you give, but in what you preserve for the moments that truly matter. If this message made you uncomfortable, good. It means it touched a nerve. And when a nerve hurts, it's because it's alive. Use that pain as fuel to change, to stop being the generous fool and become the respected strategist. The world does not reward naive kindness. It rewards executed intelligence. Be intelligent, be strategic, and above all, be the owner of your money before your money becomes the owner of your dignity.